Obasogi, King's Court MMA with OddsBalls Foundation representative Lorcan.
Hi.
Hi, Lorcan. Strong name, super strong. There'll be clips. The clips already exist of Lorcan getting his hands on the King's Court Presidente, Mardy, and Mardy's had BJJ lessons, and Lorcan had his wicked way with him. Lorcan, are you lying, and are you actually a BJJ secret specialist?
I'm quite happy to say it's actually my first time. I think it's called rolling. I think it was
rolling.
my first ever time rolling. I've had my hand at kind of boxing. That was much more my strong suit. But I've played enough rugby. It's pretty much close enough. So kind of not nice and transferable, if anything.
I mean, Mardy was really lucky because I think a bell went where an activity switched just as you were about to kind of really submit him, basically.
So from my brief knowledge of BJJ, I think I was setting him up perfectly for a rear naked choke or something. I think that's what they call it. And I was, I could hear the dinner bell going, and I'm like, then here comes the Oddballs raffle, which we've got to be there present for. But so
timing, really.
Lucky, I'd say, lucky.
Could we see a rematch?
Oh, we certainly can. I mean, he might be aware to my 3 tricks that I've got in the bag and kind of be like, oh, there we go then. And probably I think the term shish kebab me. So we could definitely see it, but it might not be a slightly changed result, sadly.
I think you'd have your wicked way with him anytime you want, to be fair, mate. But great sport. Obviously, we're all out here for a great cause. It'd be good to understand, first and foremost, about the OddsBalls Foundation and kind of what the mission and the vision is.
So the OddsBalls Foundation is the #1 charity in the UK for raising awareness for testicular cancer. Not only do we go around in nice flashy colours, we're also promoting the act of checking yourself and knowing your own body.
Amazing. And I suppose the checking yourself aspect is quite key because I'll be honest, I'm a bloke. Don't do it very often, and a lot of men are probably quite fearful of when they do check themselves and they find something. They kind of probably think life's too busy, that will go away. What would be your advice in those predicaments?
Well, it's kind of one of the lines I always use at talks. It is incredibly scary because it's your own body, it's changing, and we've all had this change. We've been through puberty, everyone's changing differently, and we get to this point where I'm so in the dark here, I don't know what's going on. But the line that I always use, it's much better to be uncomfortable once and have that conversation. And more times than none, you're actually wrong. It's kind of a cyst or a lump or anything, which is not at all metastatic or cancer. But it's always better to have that one conversation than live with the uncomfort of having cancer or just the weight of unknowing over your shoulders.
Oh, great. And obviously with Jake's story, which we're all aware of, is an incredible story. I think when he shared the news with us, which we were completely surprised, I think it was his girlfriend who kind of spotted the anomaly. Obviously, talk about early detection and how effective that was for Jake's case, for example.
Well, it's one of the stats we're most pleased about. When it is caught in the early stages of, when the cancer is caught in the early stages, it is one of the most, if not the most curable form of cancer. And it's all kind of just knowing your own testicles and the signs and symptoms from the most common, kind of lumps and bumps, of course, like the lumps on a testicle, like a painless swelling of the testicle, or like an increased firmness. But just it kind of really goes back to those are the most common ones, but it could be anything. And it's just about knowing your own testicles. Because Oddballs goes quite happily. Everyone's testicles, even if perfectly healthy, are slightly different. You'll actually find that most people's testicles, one is bigger than the other. One's spermatic cord that leads into the testicle is slightly bigger, more vascular than the other one. So rather than cause for alarm, it's checking once and knowing, this is this. How does it move? How does it change through months? And most of the time, because we're checking and we know there won't actually be any change, but it's just about knowing if there is a change. We're like, this isn't normal. What do I do now?
Awesome. And obviously in Jake's case, again, he's spoken openly about it. He's now got one ball, one testicle. In that sense, kind of, how does that affect life? And does that have any impact in life moving forwards?
So it has got none. It's completely, at this point for Jake, it's just completely cosmetic. If you're talking about fertility, the amount of sperm produced by that one testicle will be perfectly capable, and if not the exact same as you would have found before. Did you still get the same kind of, sorry to go really in depth here, but you still get the same volume of ejaculate. And it's just cosmetic to this point now, because And we've seen him. He's had his fights. It doesn't look like he was kind of limping out in the ring. He was, if not flying around that cage. So,
did you see the fight last week, or did you manage to make it?
I didn't watch it live, but I watched the clips and I realised, hang on, I'm turning up this guy's ring to try do BJJ. My ears are going to be bleeding. My nose is going to be half falling off. I might only return with one arm. So it's kind of, I don't know what I've really got myself in for here.
Yeah. No, he was extra violent last week, and I think that's to make up for, obviously, that was his second outing in the Oddballs kit. He lost his first one. So, he came out with some good venom, I would say.
Proper vigour, I would say, yeah.
I think we spoke to him earlier. I think he's recovered from sore elbows, and he was the one doing the elbowing.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you'd have to pay me quite a bit of money on that card to take one of those.
Crazy. But yeah, obviously fantastic speaking to you. It'd be great to understand, obviously, how the logistics and the negotiation came around today, and actually, that first conversation with Jake in terms of setting up today's amazing event.
So it was at the ambassador. I knew we had seen the post. We'd brought on a charity ambassador. We've got loads of charity ambassadors. There's kind of in all the mainstream media, so we can get this awareness. People like Paul Hollywood, Gordon Ramsay, Finn Russell, Ollie Chesham, all kind of goes nicely hand in hand. But in this case, we'd seen that because I think Jake actually reached out to the Oddballs Foundation and said, "Oh, I've had testicular cancer. I've been through it all. I'd like to represent your charity."
Right.
And then our foundation head Kieran took him on, with open arms. It's a sport we're not very much into. So I knew you'd take on. And then we have every year when the new ambassadors that are coming in are being onboarded. So I brought, as the senior ambassador, I was bring my kind of junior ambassador along so we kind of learn the ropes, understand what the business that we do, the kind of the talks and such. And Jake came up and gave a talk he talked about his journey through testicular cancer, his like backstory, like MMA and such. And that was the first time I met him. And I was sitting at the back of the room, of course, brilliant and really powerful story. And then after I was saying, I think I could survive if you locked us in an octagon. I think I could survive for a minute without being knocked out. And that was the kind of the consensus I was saying on my table. He overheard and came over. And I was, I'm bricking it. I am absolutely bricking it. I thought I said that under my breath. And then he's a top bloke. It was just like completely top bloke from there. Bit sad for him because he was in fight camp for his most recent fight. And we'd got pizzas delivered for lunch. So he'd had to watch us eat Papa John's in front of him. And then, he'd come over and scared me. So I started waving pizza in his face to kind of get, equalise, go 1-1 there. And then I saw it pop up, said, "Oh, we need some kind of exposure at the Jake's event." I was like, "Oh, fantastic. There's nothing I'd like to do more because I've enjoyed doing boxing so much. How different can it be?" And it's a different beast. Oh my word, it's a different beast. I've been, almost like a softback book. I've been put in some horrible positions today. Horrible positions. But, the community here is so strong and it's raising so much awareness and very happily as well, money for the foundation because in the end of the day, we are a charity. Yeah. The only way that me and Sandy can get around to do our talks and go to these schools and businesses is by the funding put around so we can keep on raising awareness and in totality beating testicular cancer.
Yeah. No, fantastic. And it's been a beautiful day so far today. Like you said, the community spirit is high. The energy is absolutely great. Positive vibes. I mean, based on its success from my perspective, could this be an annual event?
That is completely up to the MMA gym and Jake himself. And I think it would be almost a staple in Liverpool, if not trying to spread around other kind of gyms and communities in the UK. Because it's 6 men every day are diagnosed with testicular cancer. And, if we can have these kind of pop-up events where like this, if it were an annual event, if we have one person that goes there and talks, sees it and takes on the message, they then pass it on. It's completely multiplicative because me and Sandy can only talk to so many people in our talks. If those all talk to someone else, then we can reach, say if there's only a talk of 20, we could end up reaching 200, 300 people because quite happily like butterflies out of control, which we would very much enjoy.
Amazing. No, sounds like a plan. I mean, we've already spoke to the big boss man, Paul. He sounds very keen and supportive. Jake is obviously super keen and supportive. We as media would love to be here over and over again, and we'll do our best to kind of shine a light on it. In terms of donations, we'll share the link and then give us a bit of a flavour and a taste in terms of your charity. What do these donations do and where else they go to? Obviously, supporting yourselves and Sandy and getting around the country, but what else do they do in terms of the fight against testicular cancer?
Well, to put it almost as brass tacks as possible, the donations that we receive and so we can go around and do this are saving lives because, there could be someone and it's a bit of an uncomfortable topic and that's fine. It's, we don't often talk about balls. You don't go to the pub with your mates and start talking about your balls. But if we can get one person to lift it and check and find something, the money that has been raised here and other events, other charity events, are saving, say, brothers, sons, uncles, dads, all these people that we can, beat this cancer.
Yeah, amazing. And I'll be sure for you personally to put out that footage and leak out that footage of you putting a smackdown on Marty's arse, which is absolutely super embarrassing considering you've never rolled and never been on the mats before. But I'll stop. I'm just Mr. Strength and Conditioning. I don't put myself in those predicaments, mate. So that's all I'm saying.
I'm about to go inside and roll now.
I'm like you, mate. Give me some boxing gloves. It might be a bit interesting, let's just say. Wait, coming soon. Oddballs versus TKC charity boxing match. Now, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. It's your guy, Obasogi, with the Oddballs Foundation, Next Gen MMA, with Jake McHugh, raising awareness for testicular cancer. It's your guy, Obasogi, over and out. Stay blessed. Peace.